Yes, Onyx forced me to do his reviews, so you're stuck with my Scottish voice for however long this review is gonna be. He can't be arsed doing a voice reveal. He said he will at 1 billion subscribers, which sounds like a load of bollocks. Now, I'm sitting here about to read off of this trillion-word script. Anyways, on with the review. I want to clarify, this review will be as critical and fair as possible, meaning I will tell both the positives and negatives of Valorant. First subject, and the main one, is the anti-cheat. I'm not going to tell you if it's dangerous, dodgy or whatever. You can decide that yourself. However, I have tried to dig deep to find what data Riot collects specifically with the anti-cheat. I kept getting the usual "oh, it's legal, fair and under policy, etc. etc." It all was rather vague, and when I went to the links Riot gave, they come to the company's general privacy policy saying they collect use of Riot's services, the computer or device information, linked third-party accounts, etc. Riot's owned partially by the Chinese company Tencent, so take that with a grain of pepper. Luckily, you know when the anti-cheat is active and turning it off is available. The benefit to this kernel-based anti-cheat is it boots up upon startup even before the user has access, meaning cheaters can't have their programs go undetected due to the anti-cheat not being activated yet. However, cheaters always find loopholes, and they probably will. It's all a matter of time. The next subject is the microtransactions. My god, they are horrendous. All of the most scummy, unholy tactics are used to nudge the consumer into paying or paying more. Here, I'll freestyle all of them. Always having a bit left over when buying items but not enough to buy anything else. Ridiculously expensive gun skins prices. Limited amount of charms. A limited buyable skin selection that rotates daily. A secondary currency that is given for free which does absolutely nothing unless you pay for the prime skins. Having to upgrade the already expensive prime skins with the limited free amount of the secondary currency and having to pay for more. Am I the only one is surprised at all this bullshit? Because it seems this is industry standard now. I've got no clue when or how, but it is now. I'll give an example. Let's say you want to get the Prime Guardian skin fully upgraded. First you've got to pay for the skin, which is at least £20, which will give 2,250 Valorant points VP, and the skin costs 1,775 VP, giving you 475 VP left over. At least that's enough to get you the brick spray for 325 VP, which costs around £3. Yes, you heard me, a fucking brick spray for £3. No thanks, mate. Anyways, then you've got to have the bitcoins or whatever the fuck they're called to upgrade the damn thing. You need 75 of them to fully upgrade it. You get 40 to 50 bitcoins if you've played the game for 10 to 15 matches from rewards. So that's 3 or 4 upgrades covered at most. Alright. Now how much in cash for the last two? Let's say 2,800 VP for 40 coins. What the flying fuck? Now we've got to spend £40 for 4,000 VP to even be able to touch the final upgrades. Okay, well that's my TV gone. And there you go, you've now done 1 out of 4 skins. Yes, you have to do this 3 more times. Ding, that's your car, dong, that's your house, and now you're homeless. But at least you were a good Samaritan and gave all your money to Riot. I know, this is a really stupid way to pay for it, and I know you've got the bundles to reduce costs, and the battle pass to help get the bitcoins, but still it doesn't excuse these consumer traps and pits at every corner of the game's shop and rewards. I know Riot's gotta pay the bills, but this monetization is stupidly aggressive for a game in its infant stage. It's blatantly obvious this wasn't the devs' idea, mostly likely it was the cackling businessmen smoking on their golden cigars. Finally, after all that rubbish, we can talk about the UI, QOL and gameplay. I'll start with gorgeous looking UI that you were looking at in the last section. It's gracious, elegant, simple, and it looks like heaven. However, the layout is all over the place. Menus hidden in menus, side panels, up panels, down panels. It's a barrage of pop-ups and menus like you're hacking Skynet or some BS. It honestly took me around an hour to find where the progression system and battle pass is, which is just straight up bad design. The music is great, and is a nice mix of natural ambient sounds with an electronic futuristic remix, which reflects the game rather well. Queues times are fine and loading hasn't failed. However, Riot has had some server issues and I'm not sure why they didn't expect this game to have such an influx of players. I mean, their marketing was basically the whole of Twitch, for fuck's sake. Now gameplay, it's alright. It certainly takes inspiration from a variety of games. CSGO, Overwatch and R6S, however, unlike those games, it can't seem to find its own identity. It has all the ingredients to make a great spaghetti bolognese, but the chef is blind and deaf, and keeps stabbing themselves accidentally. The game has great guns with amazing sounds. The blend of RNG bloom and spray patterns is quite nice. However, guns even when scoped can feel rather inaccurate. To be honest, I feel more accurate hip firing the Negev in CSGO than using the Phantom scoped in Valorant. As for abilities, they're alright, bog standard. Many agents have very similar abilities. Radial AoE smoke, which knocks down their individuality. The agents themselves portray their characters through clothing and snappy quick dialogue between and in between rounds. My personal favorite character is Phoenix because he's a London lad. My favorite to play is probably Brimstone. He's got great universal map coverage and can play many roles, but he's mainly a support, not a healer kind though. For the last part of the section, I'm going to talk about the maps. Oh god, where do I start? How about the positives first, or the only alright map? Ascent is the map which is used in the game advertising and is probably the most developed out of the 4 maps. It has a cool door shown in a trailer which actually makes Sonic Girl have to use her dash, which is what I call good design, where a map is designed around the agent's abilities or has areas sections dedicated to a certain agent. I was extremely pleased to see that the door was fully functional in the game, and also the map contains some glass walls which can be broke for a surprise flank. However, that's as far as the map design goes. All other areas and maps are way too open with none or a bit of cover, or they are just corridors to Site A, B or C, which is really a shame because the maps are what breaks it for me. I believe the devs were forced to rush the maps out in a basic state, or they are extremely new to good multiplayer map design. They should definitely take notes from R6S to be able to create realistic and enjoyable maps, as I feel R6S-like maps would work well in Valorant. In conclusion, I give Valorant a 6 out of 10. The game feels rather rushed due to its many shortcomings, and the disgusting microtransactions are a big turn-off. The game should have been developed on for at least 3 months more, and they definitely should have had a map review and still should make the maps a million times better, and I feel they can do it. Despite my pessimism, I really do want this game to be the best it can be, as something with its own standalone identity.